Hello again. Today I thought I would talk about what I kind of looked at this week. I watched some series, a couple things on Netflix, a couple other things, but last night I watched the movie Antlers, and I think it was on HBO Max. Just a straightforward, kind of old-fashioned monster movie. I enjoyed it a lot. It had a really good cast in it, people you recognize. Carrie Russell, she's been in all kinds of movies going back to, I think, Honey, I Shrunk the Children, or Kids, or whatever the hell that was called. Rick Moranis. I think she was in a show called The Americans, which was, I think, about Russian spies implanted in the United States. Jesse Plemons, you'll recognize. He's been on CSI and stuff like that, but his most memorable role that I remember him in was from Breaking Bad. He kind of played a nephew of the one really bad uncle there, and he was very sociopathic. You know, they were doing awful things, and it didn't seem like a big deal to him at all. So he's in there. He's also in Fargo. One episode of Fargo, he played the butcher in that. So you'll recognize him so you see him. The new one is interesting. Young kid. He plays the role, really pretty much the lead role in the movie. His name is Jeremy T. Thomas. I've never seen him anything else. Unbelievably, I think, talented actor. Sometimes when you see children actors, you can tell that they've been lesson upon lesson. This very much seemed effortless. A really tough role too. I mean, you know, there's parts of this that are hard to watch, but you know, I highly recommend it. It's a great movie. Greene was also in it, and he plays character. He's a character actor. He is, you know, Native American. You'll recognize him too. He's been in Longmire and a bunch of other stuff where he always plays different roles. So he's kind of the retired sheriff of the county. So, you know, he gives you exposition on what's really going on once they start realizing some bad stuff's going on around town. And then the other thing that I noticed, that as I'm watching, I'm like, especially once you start, there's a creature, and once you start seeing some of the creature scenes, things like that, and just the odd and just really kind of out there weirdness of the design and some of the set designs, it's Guillermo Del Toro, so you'll remember him from all kinds of different movies, and he definitely has a signature on his creation. Mostly, you know, when you see characters and creatures, things like that. I'm trying to remember what movie it was in where he had the guy with the eyes on his palms, and that really kind of creeped me out. So I think he had a lot to do with the first Hellboy, if I remember right. But it's a good movie. If you can catch it, watch it. Not very long. It's just pure entertainment. You know, it was a perfect Saturday night movie. I enjoyed the heck out of it. So watch it at night too. A lot of dark scenes, so I think that would be lost if it was bright outside. So it's definitely creepy. There are some jump out moments in it, and it's really good. I enjoyed it, so can highly recommend it. It's Antlers. Watch it now. I think it's free on a lot of the services. It's not free, you pay for the services, but you don't have to rent it. So can't recommend it highly enough. I think it's fun. Anyway, moving on. Something that I thought would help people, if you get into the comic hobby, something I think that you really need to do, especially nowadays, is you need to learn to grade. You know, not necessarily that you're going to, you know, be a buy, seller, flipper, or whatever, set up at a show, but it'll really help you to understand why the cost of something is so different from a 4.0 to, say, an 8.0. And the best way to do that is learn to grade yourself, so that you can pick a book up and you can look at it and you can realize, you know, what grade this is, because there's a lot of apps out there that you can look at, you know, GPA and Go Collect and some others out there, but they really don't help you if you don't know what the grade of the book is. So you really need to learn to grade. So, you know, anyone asks me, what should I do, you know, if I want to get into collecting, especially if you're going to collect vintage books and, you know, anything pre, you know, like 85, anything, you know, Bronze Age and back, you really need to learn to grade, so you understand what you're paying for, because you could look up in a book, you know, or look up in one of your guides on your phone and think, you know, $100 is a fair price for something, but only if it's an 8.0, and it might be, you know, like a 3.0 or 4.0 if you really don't know how to grade. Your money's not going to go as far as you think it might. So I'd say learn to grade, and one easy way to do that is I picked this up a long time ago. It's the Guide to Grading Comics, and it's by Overstreet. So it's not quite CGC or CBCS level. I think it's a little bit harder. I think Overstreet grading standards are a little bit harder, but this book is really cool because it goes through and it'll tell you, okay, here's a 10.0. This is what a gem meant. You know, these are the criterion, and it goes through every single grade. So you got 9.9 and so on. But the part to me that is the most useful is at the end. Where like they'll go through the same cover. So they used, Amazing Spider-Man 50 here, and they went all the way from an 8 or 9/8. And then you can look at this. And then what I used to do is I would go and look at raw books online, on Amazon or wherever else, if you're on Instagram or whatever. And then, they go down through each one, and they point out on these little, in the gutter, they point out little, all the flaws. And after a while, when you start looking at this and you start looking at thousands of books, you can pretty easily grade. It even goes all the way down to a fair. And you can see that's a pretty raggedy looking book, but it's just nice to have these big images. It's the same cover, so what is the difference between a 3.0 and a 4.0, or a 7.0 and an 8.0, and so on. So, and they even have some great images of some older books, that Silver Age, and they have Golden Age in here as well. But it's a great book. It's listed for $24 something, but I think I picked this up at a show, or I might even bought it on Amazon for like $10. So it's a nice little companion book, and for the money, it really doesn't hurt to study up on this and to look at this. How I used to do is I would just look at eBay, and then I would look at these, and then I would compare. And then once I started getting graded books, I would start looking, and you can look right through the plastic, and you can start figuring out, well, this is why I got an 8.0 or an 8.5. And what happens is, you can start to do that before you go and get it graded. And really, once you know what a grade is, then all those pricing apps are valuable. If you don't know what something graded is, I don't know really what you're looking at. You're kind of just guessing at that point. So again, it's the comic, or the Guide to Grading Comics, Overstreet. Pretty cool book. That's what the back looks like. You can find this pretty much anywhere, but if you can pick it up, even if you pay full price for it, $25, I don't think it's a lot to spend on a hobby if you're going to get into it. But anyway, this next one is the fourth and final box. Mike and I, a few weeks back on a Taco Tuesday, we opened 4 boxes all at once. It was it was very fun, but I could tell you I was tired by the end of that. Just going through a lot of things, and this one's pretty good. This has a pretty decent range of different books that you don't see every day, so I think you're going to enjoy this one. So we'll see you in the next one. Enjoy! Time to make the magic!
Okay, this is box number 4. When did I take my socks off and count this one?
Hey everybody.
Hey.
We're back again.
Okay, you sick of us?
Our CGC box marathon. I'm going to try to get these out right in a row. Maybe. We'll see.
So again, from the last video, I see YouTubers talking about, kind of little bragging and boasting, how big the boxes are, how much value is there. This is exhausting.
Yeah, that's a lot of books.
Only 4 boxes into this thing, and we got 13 total. I'm going to just stop right
My
here.
liver hurts.
Yeah.
For some reason.
I'm missing a kidney. What happened to it?
Yeah,
Where did this ice bath come from?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so anyways, this is the 4th box. We had 1 Express. This is our 3rd standard tier. We're trying to plow through with 13 box submission.
Yeah, I think we ended at T's.
And yeah, so as far as the standard tier goes, we ended at the Tales of Suspense. And we're going to pick it up here on Tales of Suspense number 94, hopefully. And so not much to say about it, except these books we had at the conventions. They made the convention circuit for about a year or 2 or 3 in some cases. So time to get rid of the books and send them to CGC. So if you didn't buy them then, you can buy them now at 3 times the price.
There you go. Be more than happy.
Contact me down below, the description below. Most of the books are for sale. Yada, yada, yada.
All right, what do we got first?
Let's go.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, these are out of order. Surprise.
Nubia, right?
Yes, Nubia. So many people don't have any idea what this book is, and now that I own all the copies of it, I can tell you the little secret. If you don't know, this is the first appearance of Nubia. She was the one of the Amazon warriors that appeared in the first Wonder Woman movie. Yeah. There's been discussion about having her.
God, she's gonna stab me in the cooch.
Of course, we go off track pretty quick. But I think she also had a quick cameo in the second Wonder Woman movie. But there's talk about having her come back. The funny thing about this book is, I walked into the local comic shop one day and it was just sitting there on the display rack for like $65. Huh. And I had no intentions of buying a book when I walked in. I'm buying it because if you look at the pricing on this book, this book in high grade hits close to $1,000. So I thought it was an 8.5.
Boom!
Nice.
Yeah,
It's got white pages too.
It is gorgeous.
So that was a win. You know, that was a win. Just didn't plan to buy a book that day. This is about 5 months ago too. I was actually advertising the comic show, Empire Comic Fest, and I went to this shop, and I'm like, wait, what's that book?
This is a funky cover. I've never seen this before.
So
this is a Wonder Woman
this is pretty scarce.
Yeah.
So Wonder Woman,
Getting
113,
sizzled by
fighting the Sphinx. Yeah. So these books are late 50s, 1960.
Yeah.
So prior to the whole resurgence, the 10-cent DC book, resurgence of superheroes, these late 50s, early 60s books were really hard to find in nice shape. This one I thought had a crack at a 9.0.
Boom!
9.0, nailed it. But
stuck the landing.
But off-white pages. I got a run of these. I got 5 copies or 5.
New. That just looks new. Looks like
I got 5 issues in a run with this book, and that was a beautiful copy.
1960.
Yeah, it's a cool sci-fi cover.
Where were you in 1960? Most people, I wasn't even alive.
Well, and 23 of my chromosomes were there, 23 were over there.
Yikes!
I wasn't yet combined, so.
A late night drive-in a few years later.
Well, there's a story behind that.
Yikes!
A couple of beers.
Yeah.
This is our second. Well, actually, no. It's our first one in this unboxing. Yeah. We had one several unboxings ago.
It's a cool cover.
Tomb of Dracula, number 10.
Some weird.
Yeah. So this one had a bunch of, like, somebody did a burnout on Dracula's face. There's like a skid mark.
You think it's about a 4.0?
No, I think it's a little bit less than that. I bought this raw as a 3.5. So 3.5.
Boom!
3.0. But yeah, look who's smiling now, guys, in the back.
Yeah, it's got a sub crease. I didn't notice.
The back cover's kind of rough. There's lots of creases and folds.
You know what though?
Stuff.
This is a great book to get if you need it and you don't want to spend thousands of dollars because this book is
in that condition, it's like $500 or so.
Yeah.
Yep.
But if you get it anything much higher, here we go. Now we start with the X-Men.
Woo! We're gonna roll into the X-Men right here. Let me see.
Jack Kirby had this fascination with this type of cover too. He draws them a lot.
Wait a minute.
Where people are either looking through glass or they're looking at a monitor.
Try to avoid looking at the grades here. Look at the titles. There's 2 other non-X-Men books in this box. The rest are X-Men. One of them here is
First MODOK.
As I mentioned at the top of the video, the start of the video, Tales of Suspense '94.
This is a really nice copy.
Yeah, nice copy. That one I thought was
MODOK in his little feety pajamas at the bottom.
I thought this was an 8.0.
Survey says, boom!
Whoa!
What happened?
Dump in the pants.
Dump in the pants.
How?
Well, I did take a lot of these books out of my boxes and did a quick little scan. I didn't spend tons of time. Oh yeah, I see. Okay, now I see it. There's a crease about 6 inches long right here, this diagonal crease. Can you see it?
Barely.
Yep.
It's faint.
It's still a crease. Yeah, it runs right through.
Yeah.
Boys, girls, men, women. Yeah, so
you need extra money. You need to know just 10 people.
I was just throwing books into the submission boxes, trying to get them out over the Christmas holiday, and with close to 300 books to submit, I didn't have time to sit there and scan every one. Oh, interesting.
It's a nice one.
Interesting. So you recognize this book?
I sure do.
So at the last Empire Comic Fest that I hosted, I took this book as a trade, and the owner claimed it was a CGC 5.0 that was just cracked out. The label actually says conserved, and it says staples replaced. Okay, that makes sense because there is a little bit of water damage. They probably got rusty. Not sure if he knew they were replaced or not. He probably did. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
But we kind of debated back and forth the condition. I said it was a 3.0. He claimed it was going to be a 5. It was a 5 because it came out of a CGC case. I said I'm not going to buy it as a 5, regardless of what you say. So we agreed upon a 3.0 grade and the price thereof. So
the only time I ever listened to that argument if they have the label with them.
Yeah.
And if they don't have the label with them, go pound sand.
So I thought it was a 3.0. I cleaned it up a little bit, but let's see what we got. So it's a 4 or 5. That's conserved. Probably it's a wash considering conserved and the grade box. I bought it as a 3, so I'm not totally, it's a white page copy too. I'm not totally in the dumpster with it, but it's a nice copy. A little bit of damage at the bottom.
The series looks good. All the previews I've seen look real good.
Yep.
Actually better than I thought it would.
Don't always trust those people that want to trade books.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of an ongoing debate. Now that the prices go up so high, it's difficult to trade books that cost hundreds of dollars. You know, people think it's better and they want more trade value for it. But I always tell them, you want to trade a Hulk 181, please get it graded. I'll even pay for the grading fees.
Yeah. Well, the thing that I'm seeing now is people have, they bought it at the peak. Mm-hmm. And they've held on to it, and so now they want you to make up for their mistake.
Yeah, I do a lot of trades.
They bought a book for $1,200. It's worth like $500 now, and they still want you to give them $900 for it.
Yeah, I do a lot of trades, but only for books that are under a certain value. Yeah. Once you get above a certain amount, it gets kind of risky.
What do you think this is?
This was a CPR Old Label 7.5. Boom! Oh, didn't do anything.
All right.
That's interesting because
cream to off-white.
And the page quality went down. That's a double dump in the pants.
Oh my gosh.
Double dump in
That's
the
a majority
pants.
there.
Wow.
This is interesting because I have an 8.0 copy that I compared this one to side by side. And the 8.0 definitely looked worse than that copy. So I thought, I think it's got a shot.
I think CGC is expanding so quickly that you're going to have a huge range in graders.
I'll look at the graders' notes. I mean, that's not too big of a deal. Okay. Next one.
Got his red swimming trunks on again, fans.
Okay,
everyone likes them.
It's been a hot minute. Got
a lock and
load.
Look at that crazy machine they got going on in the background. So it's X-Men number 6. This one is actually, I think,
X-Men number 6
might get white pages. This one's really clean. Oh, Comics Code when it was that giant was hysterical to me.
You want to choose your weapon again? Choose your adventure?
I'll stick with whatever you handed to me.
I'll pick the middle one.
Oh, you got 3 of them.
Yeah. I said you could pick your weapon.
It's a 3-fer.
So one's a 6, another one is a 6, another one's a 7. So I predicted a 6, and a 7 in some other order, whichever order it goes in.
It's got a tear about a 1/4-inch tear in the back.
I think this one
is the nicest one.
Is the nicest one right here. Probably a 7. This one I thought was a 6. Let's go with this one.
This one would have been a 7.
This is a fair shootout. So it's 2
Survey
6s
says,
maybe? Boom! Wow! Oh, you win!
Missed this.
You got me on one.
They missed.
So let's see what this last one is, which is a 6 or 7. Okay, it's a 6. Okay, so I did say a 6.
That sure looked like the nicest one.
I did say a 6, and a 7.
Yeah,
got exactly the right grades, as I predicted. Okay, there you go.
Hey, the 6 sure looks nicer than the 7. Oh well.
Yeah, let's see. And
it's a great cover too.
You know the routine.
Yep.
Here's your weapon. Let me find.
This is great. Do you really think that amount of dirt would keep all of those people, especially Giant Man, from falling through?
Whole thing collapses and crushes Professor
6 inches of sod.
He's got like some kind of urban assault wheelchair there.
He does.
That was his Mark I wheelchair. He kind of downgraded.
Awesome. Look at that thing. And he's got a gun. How did he lose that fight? He's got a tank chair and a gun, and he can't feel half his body.
The X-Men fell through and like crushed him.
That probably is what happened.
This is before he was crippled.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think I predicted both these grades. A 6.0 and a 7.5. I don't know which one is which, but a 6 and a 7.5.
Oh God, I got to show the ad in the back after
All
this.
Right, ready?
1, 2, 3,
go.
5.5.
6.5. Oh,
nice.
Double dump in the
This guy's talking about
pants.
hypnotizing. Take a close look at that. What he's planning on doing with his hypnotizing skills. That's not at all creepy.
Oh, the girl on the side there.
Yeah, laying on the couch. Yeah, look at his creepy hands
with her skirt hiked up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that was
give me just one evening, and I'll teach you how to date rape people. Creepy.
Hey, Billy, you ever see a grown man naked? So that one was probably the 7. Yeah, I said 7.5. I got a 6.5. The other one I thought was a 6.0, and I got a 5.5. So it was a half a point.
I would take the 5.5 all day over the 6.
I was off by half a point and off by a point on my copy.
It's much nicer.
Okay. We'll make it up.
We'll make it up.
No problem.
It's a box of X-Men. You got to make it up somewhere.
Keep this party rolling.
Kazar.
Kazar.
This was the Plunderer originally, right?
Kazar and the Submariner team up.
The Submariner.
With Anelius.
I say Kazar. Everyone else says Kazar. I don't
It's
think
Kazar.
that. I'm going to wait till he comes out in the movie, then we'll know.
Khazar fights Anelius with a submariner team up. So yeah, this was a train wreck. One of these is, well, right now, one's a 4.5, one's a 7.0.
Mike Marvel's on the back. I think you should change your name to Mike Marvel. We're going to the courthouse on Monday.
I got the 4.5 because this one's got like chips and little rips and tears. So
mine's pretty nice.
I'm going to take a gut shot. Yours is probably the 7. I think mine's the 4.5.
Survey says, boom, 6.5.
4.5 and 6.5. Okay, so I was off half a point, but you still shotgun blast.
You get a belly full of lead.
And a kidney.
Yeah. Mike Marvel, I'm telling you.
Okay, what comes after 9, 10? Of course, 12.
Yep. I can't really think of what 11 looks like.
It's got the Stranger. It's a brown cover, and he's kind of towering over the rest of.
He's got like that white smoking.
You know, Anthony.
White
you
smoking
got a copy
jacket.
of 11.
Yeah.
I've seen it before.
White smoking jacket on.
Yeah. Another. What's the question? Will the Juggernaut ever come back?
I hope
probably
so.
will.
It's a fun. Always a fun. When I was a kid, when the Juggernaut showed up, you were always like, "Oh my God, the Juggernaut's here! It's bad." It's awful.
So here's an interesting little topic of discussion. So, I'm assuming people have already seen the trailer for Doctor Strange 2, and if you haven't, pause for 2 minutes and go watch the trailer,
and then come right back.
But there's a clip, the part of the clip about 20 seconds into it, where America Chavez is held up and she's suspended in the air, and there are these like cloth band type things, and there's that mummy-like creature that comes into her face and is like kind of screaming at her. So one of the theories is that weird like bandage-looking creature is Satorak. So the crimson bands of Satorak is what Doctor Strange uses on occasion in the spells to like bind up and wrap his enemies. The crimson bands of Satorak also are what gives the power to the Juggernaut, or Satorak gives the power to the Juggernaut. So there's a little bit of discussion there whether or not with the X-Men coming in, if Satorak is going to tie in loosely to the Juggernaut. So you may make a little cameo sometime in the future. There's your info for the day. I thought this was a 4.5.
Bang!
5.5. 1 point bump. That'll make up for the last one.
I think that's how they bring Fantastic Four in too, is because of the multiverse. Because otherwise you'd say, well, why, if you were on Earth, why didn't you help out during the Endgame?
Well, we were partying with the Eternals. Yeah. Nobody wanted to help. Okay, let's see.
You got 2 of those? And we already had one in another box. This is...
Yeah, we had the 8.0 and the Express.
Yes. This is pretty nice. Got some edge wear. Typical, people used to fold back the cover when they read it.
Okay, so I thought one was a 4.5, other one was a 5.5, and one was a 7.0.
This is a 4.5. This is a 4.5 right here all day.
Okay, I'm gonna pick this nice bright shiny thing and just go for the face.
1, 2, 3, boom,
boom, 7.0. So I called it a 7, and
we
it was a 7.
Right. Yep.
And it's a white pages.
So was mine. 4.5 white pages, which is kind of weird.
So that
Killer
was the
date
4.5.
stamp. Look at that, huh? I love these date stamps. I don't like the handwritten ones, but I like the stamp.
So let's see, 4.5. So this one must be the 5. I thought this was a 5.5.
Maybe a 6.
5.5 between the 2 other grades.
Boom.
5.0. So close enough. And there's a price in the back. I see a little penciled price on that. What is that?
$1.25 someone paid for this.
$1.325.
Alan Garrett. That's an Alan Garrett special. I was in Saginaw County, New Jersey when I was 29, doing some off-Broadway, and I bought this comic for $1.25.
Yeah. We'll catch up, Alan. Go to HeroesCon
this year.
Yeah, we'll be there.
You can make another cameo.
I'll be there next week, waiting like the next 5 months in line,
leaning up against the window.
Oh, Billy.
Yeah. Okay. So another RAS book.
Super classic covers.
RAS book. I had this book for a little bit. Actually, I cracked it out. It was a CGC 7.5, and I was gonna have it graded, but somebody at a show wanted to buy a copy, so I brought it to the show.
That's nice.
He decided not to buy it. We were just talking about this guy earlier. He moved and he came back. So anyways, I was going to sell the book to the guy. And he's like, nah, I don't want to buy the book. And I said, okay, I'm going to give it to CGC. So it went to CGC.
What do you think?
Was a 7.5. It's now...
Boom!
8.5. Big glowing.
You suck.
Could have had that 7.5.
Yeah. At a 7.5 price.
Or an 8.5 for a 7.5 price.
6 months ago.
Yeah, that was at the July show.
First Havoc.
People are probably going, what are they talking
Yeah.
about?
What show are they talking about?
These anecdotal stories.
Look
Now,
at
that might have been I think that copy right there was
Sharp.
a Lake Effect copy.
that. I mean,
See the
when
little date in the middle right there?
The one we almost died at?
Yeah.
5-6.
Well, we almost died at a couple of the shows, but the one we almost died in the snowstorm show.
Yeah.
See right here? The date?
yeah.
Because they had those little penciled arrival, like 5 out of 6 copies.
Almost
I think.
all of them.
Or it
This
could
is
be May 6th.
really white. Finish high school at home, Mike.
Mine's really whiter.
See, now, finish high school at home used to be a thing, and nowadays you don't have a choice.
Well, what if I want to go to like Sweden high school or another
No.
Norwegian high school? I don't want to go to
Kids all
Finnish.
learn online now.
I don't want the Finnish high school. I want the other ones. I want the Denmark high school.
This one's really sharp.
So.
It's an 8-0,
Both
maybe
of these
higher.
I got raw.
This is more than an 8.
I thought one was an 8 and one was a 7.5. So which chamber are you gonna pull, or which gun are you gonna pull the trigger
This
on?
is an 8.5.
Okay. This one is probably then the 7.5. It looks nicer than your copy though. 7.5 and an 8. Boom! Boom! Oh! Kill lead. 9.0. Wait, pages.
But I said this is an 8.5. That's exactly what it is. I didn't look at yours.
Oh yeah. So okay, if that was the case,
You did great.
well, I called one a 7, one an 8.
Yeah.
What is that? Little like smuts right there. That little bit of red near the. I thought it was rust for a moment. But
No,
it's,
it's actually on both. It's just bleed through from Marvel Girl's belt.
Yeah.
Marvel Girl.
Okay.
How many we got left? X-Men 101. 3 of them. An 8.5, a 7.5, and a CBCS 5.5. So let's see how you did. White, off-white, off-white, off-white. So let's see how you did on this. This book's a notorious, horribly centered book.
Yeah. I've had a few. I had a 9.4 that was like really.
Yeah, we had that
misread.
one that had that crazy white stripe on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many of these? Oh my God, there's 4 of them? Wait, there's more. There's 5 of these? Wow.
So I had all of
So
these.
everybody, if you haven't been able to find X-Men 101, here's the reason why.
I got a little stack of them right here. So again, all of these were
Great
for
Jack Davis head on the back.
all of these were for sale, and I decided to send them all in because just they're clogging up my boxes.
Hold on to them, hand them to me one at a time.
Wanna
We're just
do
going to
any kind
rapid
of-
fire these.
And they by particular order or just
No, we're just going to rip them off.
Okay, so the labels were
The 8.5.
a 5.5, a 7, and an 8.5.
Yep, and then 2 raws.
Okay, and I predicted like a bunch of 7s and 8s.
Boom!
Go 7.
7-0. What do
Okay,
we got
there's
next?
our 7.5.
7.5. Oh!
8.0.
8-0.
Ooh, it's going up.
Oh yeah, going up like my blood pressure. There we go. Hi-yo, boom! Can we keep this heater going? Oh yeah, break it out. Here we go. Bam! Let's go get that 7.5. And what are we gonna end with?
This is the best one.
Is this the last one?
Last
in the box?
book. Last book.
Oh my gosh! Give it some zingo. What are we gonna get? What are we gonna get? Oh no!
Oh, yes.
No! You just hit him in the wrong order.
Rocked 'em.
Yeah. You went
Right.
7. You ran the table. 7 to 9.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Oh, that's
wait a
right, there's
minute,
one of every
5.5 really jumped.
The 5.5, this first one that we had must have been the 7.0. There was a 7.0 in there,
There
right?
was a 7.0.
So the 5.5 jumped to a 7, and then whatever we had that was.
Yeah, let me do the picture that everyone would normally use as a thumbnail.
Oh, there you go, thumbnail.
Yeah, look at that. Let's see if I can try to hold this up.
Crash! They'll fall down.
The cases.
Here, hold it up. I'll spread a little bit here. Let me get them.
Spread them. Spread Jean Grey. Spread Jean Grey.
Whoa!
Hi-yo.
Almost took out the camera. Okay, hold it right there.
Oh, look at that, huh?
Yeah, look at that. Look
That's
at that
a nice
apples.
spread.
There you go. Thumbnail.
Pretty. There's your thumbnail. Get that 7.0 peeking out there. There you go. Nice.
There you go.
Pretty sweet.
So yeah, there was a 1 of every grade. No, actually, there was a tag video going around recently where they were asking people to do their each of every grade. So you have a 5, a 0.5, a 1.0, a 1.5, a 2, 2.5, and so on and so forth. I can do them all in X-Men. X-Men 101.
Yeah.
I got X-Men 101 in a 0.5. I got it in a 1.0. I got it in a 1.5.
Yeah, I had a 4.5 and a 6.0. So
Yeah. So there's a, if you can't, well, you can't see it, but there is a
It's Christmas morning.
Massive pile of bags on the floor after 4
I'm
boxes.
gonna put these on my head and dangle.
I'm about ready to
dangle from the chandelier.
That's like an OD on books here. So that's it for now. I need to go take a nap for a week.
Nice.
And
we got Comics Depressed. That ain't happening.
So coming up soon, we talked about this a little bit off camera. We're gonna have a return of the Robo Reaper, or Reaper Tate will be joining us.
Yeah.
So Anthony, if you see this video before we do it, or before we call you and tell you, we have an all EC box.
Yeah. By the time you see this, we'll probably be in your driveway in a van. So just tell your wife it's
With
okay.
blacked out
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Don't call the cops.
Yes.
If you tell anyone about this, I'll kill you.
So that box right now is sitting at my house. We had too many books to open tonight.
And then we got a Golden Age box coming too.
And it was requested a while back, but I have a all Golden Age box. And we're not talking like 1952. We're talking like 1939, and 40 and 41. So I had enough Golden Age books to make a box out of. So those are back, and then books that have not returned. I've got 3 moderns and 1 value remaining. Yes. So actually, you know what? I misspoke. There's a box and a half of Golden Age books.
Oh.
Not just 1, but a box and a half.
Wow. So stay tuned for that.
Yep.
So enjoy this marathon series here, and by the time these all come out, we'll be opening the other ones.
Yeah, it'll be Christmas
So it's
2022.
Awesome. Get ready. Tell Frank to get ready.
Yep.
Anyway, thanks everybody for stopping in. We'll see y'all soon.
Thanks.
Love what you have, not what you want.
Yep. Pack safely.
Bye, buddy.